Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got some bonus coverage coming at you here in what is Game 3 of the other series. As promised here, of course, again, leading into it pretty nicely there. Happened to finish the Nullstone versus Rexstar series. Nullstone taking it 2-0, thus staying alive and moving on. They'll be playing the winner of this series come next week, and that is, of course, this is the final match for today. But they play the winner of this series, this being Reason versus Prime Icarus here. Now, again, Prime Icarus especially, a team that the name itself might throw you off. And you look at the roster, though, a couple of players over here that are somewhat recognized. But even I mean, it's still not the most, recognized and powerful team of players and everything like that. But don't let that fool you either. I mean, here they are, giving Reason Gaming some tough competition, definitely. And a team that is very deserving to be here. So, joined by Mini Maggot, of course, once again, and we're almost done with the first tier fix even, but I'm genuinely excited to see what Prime Icarus is all about. And, hey, they're coming off a victory over Reason Gaming, so.
Yeah, obviously, Certas, the old, obviously the old captain of Dawn, obviously, back now with PI, and I'm sort of good friends with Snowy as well, and is looking good here on captain position as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they can bring, obviously, Breaky.
Yeah.
And decent start now with Kraken and Cthulhu on the board. They obviously did trade the Magmus, but it's quite interesting, actually. Like, I think it depends on from team to team, but I know Insania, particularly from Sync Esports, that he really he loves Magnus, but whenever he can get it, he'll get the Magnus Pyromancer because he thinks that Pyromancer is just such a strong hero in terms of supports. But I mean, outside of Sync, I don't think there's a lot of other heroes or a lot of other teams, that prioritize Pyromancer as much as Sync Esports. No. And I have to agree with Insania though. The hero is so strong. Obviously, Glacius is a great laning support and is maybe a little bit more reliable than the Pyromancer. But Pyromancer offers just such great burst that you don't expect that kind of burst coming out from a support. And I think in most cases, it is probably the better support, but you do need a good lead stun, and this is where the Magnus comes in. So, but in this sense, Reason just completely leaving out the Pyromancer.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair, and it seems like I don't know what it is, but at the top, whenever a team is at the top, Stay Green was also known for running that Pyromancer, a very bursty kind of support.
Yeah,
Pyromancer, the Witch Slayer, even in certain cases. So Sync happens to be at the top right now, and they happen to run it themselves.
It literally is that blazing strike though. Obviously the Q and the W is nice, but it's like having a support that does that much damage and that much burst potential is just absurd. Honestly, it's just so useful. And as long as you can get a little bit of farm on it, and as long as you can land your stuns, which obviously the best teams of the world they can do that. It really does give them I think a significant advantage, honestly, because at a level 11 it does what 675 damage. That's half HP for most carry players. It's just I don't know, man. Sorry, I didn't need to go on a rant, but I think Pyromancer is really, really strong.
So now that Blitz was picked up, you're like, all right, next one in line, let's go. Who's Pyromancer? All right, now it's time to make a point about Pyromancer.
It is, man. I've got to be the hipster. When people start picking up Blitz, I've got to get rid of it and start funding the new thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we'll see if this upcoming patch changes anything with a hero like Pyromancer.
Oh my god.
Who knows? Who knows? All right, bands coming out right here. Prisoner 945, Behemoth, Silhouette, Electrician, and Dr. Repulsor. And now the final band to be had. There's Bubbles, actually, coming out there. So, again, Bubbles just one of those staple, just quality heroes. But going to be taken away here by Prime Icarus, Snooey. Yeah, he mentioned Snooey. We know him and really just great guy. He's
he's really
not only a good player, but obviously involved in the community as far as casting goes. And
he was when DreamHack was going, I was like, oh yeah, man, do you want to come down to DreamHack and just start mine? I was like, oh, I wish I could. But, he's well nice guy actually. But, so shout out to that guy. Anyway, back to the game. Corrupted Disciple picked up here. This is a hero that when I think of Reason Gaming, I think of Corrupted Disciple on Imberboy. I don't know what it's about, but it's either that or Moon Queen, and it is kind of a signature hero here for Imberboy. I'm pretty sure.
You know what I do? Speaking of kind of signature heroes to an extent, God, yeah, look at that, 4 games only, and we happened to see it yesterday too, but only 1 and 3. But anyways, Dampier. I know Imberboy used to run a long time ago. And
I don't know. I think after those nerfs, Dampier fulfilled a niche where he would farm faster than any other hero, and because he farmed so much faster, that he'd have one more item than the enemy carry, and because of that, you could find a nice timing and then push from there 35, 40 minutes and go from there. But after his Q and W got a little bit nerfed, he didn't farm as fast, and his pickoff potential was a little bit reduced, and so he wasn't strong enough early and late game. Obviously, he couldn't compare to sort of these other hard carries, so he fell off. Put simply.
Reason going the rally once again. See how that works out here for them. You do see the Revenant though. Revenant coming out for Prime Icarus, and we've talked about that with the Wild Rot being eligible now, and again we saw it especially a lot here today. We've been seeing it bits and pieces here today. Revenant though is considered one of these heroes that has already had that built in, and sure it means you have to pick him up in the end, but it's not a bad thing necessarily. He's overall a pretty good hero, but he's kind of had his phases, Sync especially was Sync used to like to run it even in the carry format. It is going to be more support here, however, as we do see the Mage Bane final pick. Certus going to get his hands on Mage Bane here. Interesting final pick there.
I love seeing Mage Bane on Certus on Mage Bane because he plays it in such a unique way that he's the only player that I know who plays Mage Bane in such a different way from the norm. Obviously, the norm is like Rune Cleaver into Abyssal, but with Certus, he plays it like it's Elder Parasite, but I think he goes after Elder Parasite. He goes like Energizer, I think, and it is really interesting to see. And I think it might be even Helmut Legion into Elder Parasite. I can't remember the second item, but he definitely goes Elder Parasite, and it's so interesting. Honestly, it's really really good fun because he gets involved in team fights really early on. And it synergizes quite well though, because obviously it increases his attack speed by quite a bit, and obviously the more attack speed, the more mana combustion he can do, and like plus 64 damage on attack is decent. So decent attack speed efficiency.
I do remember as well, when Certus was first, with Dawn, I think you were stressing that, back then too. And I want to say, I don't know if we actually got to see him do it, or if you just happened to mention that. I just remember that too. But anyways, point being, that's definitely intriguing now that you bring that back up, because Elder Parasite, an item in itself that we just do not see. After the changes that the different build up and everything, we kind of saw it a little bit just for people to try, but it just died off pretty quickly once again.
Yeah, I think because the old school build with Mage Bane was like the Helmblood Legion first, because obviously it was really squishy. But like if you think of Elder Parasite, it practically does the same of Helmblood Legion. Like Helmblood Legion gives you 300 plus health and 6 mana regeneration. Elder Parasite gives only 250 like max health, but it's like obviously the craze effect. Obviously you take 15% more damage, but in terms of like counteracting the burst, it is still a decent item pickup because it has the Beast Heart component. So I love the item build on him, and Certus really knows how to play it well. And we might see a Rune Cleaver here, but I know he really favours the Elder Parasite in most builds. So I have to see though.
I was kind of wondering about the Mage Bane pickup. I'm looking at this Legion team, and it's kind of give and take. It's not the most crazy magic damage team, but there's a good amount of magic damage as usual, earlier on to mid game especially, and his shield could definitely be very powerful. Master of the Mantra is also not talk about it too much when you talk about Mage Bane, but it's kind of a nifty tool that that kicks in, and whenever the opponents use abilities, especially big abilities that cost a lot of mana, actually can do some good damage to themselves. So
it's a decent amount of magic damage as well, so decent magic armor as well. Obviously, Mage Bane the plus, I think it's like plus 5, plus 10, plus 12 actually. Jeez,
himself
at max level, so it's pretty sick.
12 to himself.
So
5 to teammates, because why not?
But I think Mage Bane doesn't have like the greatest synergy Mage Bane in this pick. Like, it's not going against like any kind of very heavy mana reliant heroes like Doctor or Pulsar, and he can't effectively split push. He can obviously, but he still has to be wary of the Magnus rally. But in the late game, I don't think he should be too worried about that. So he can split push quite effectively. But then again, he doesn't go Rune Cleaver, so his split pushing potential is reduced slightly in that respect. That is if he doesn't go Rune Cleaver.
Look at this too, though. Revenant and Torch are both getting a Wild Rot as their initial starting build.
That's interesting, because I mentioned before, didn't I? I said I don't think Wild Rot is very good level 1, but I guess they're going to try and make it work here. It's going to be interesting to see. I think they have to get a level 1 gank off either mid or bottom or somewhere, because otherwise it's not going to be useful, put simply.
Yeah. Well,
we'll have to see then. It might.
Revenant's going to see what he can make happen. He's scouting it out. You see on the mini-map, though, Rally's not even close. He's actually at the creep wave having fun over there, so using it 15 more seconds, Wild Rot. Will this actually work out? Torture and Revenant both. Revenant's going to wear off much sooner. 9 more seconds. If Rally extends even a little bit right here. See, the thing is though, the veiled rot was almost useless right there. It's like because they could have just done that anyways, and they still wouldn't have been.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Now, if they were over it, the idea was that hoping somebody would be obviously the jungle over here, and then they could catch, of course. But so good attempt, but that is 200 gold. 100 gold for each of them that they just spent on that to basically have nothing done. So it's a risk. It's definitely a very, very risky move. Hey, if it gets the bloodlust, then well worth it. But it didn't.
This is what I mean. By level 1, like smoke gang, I don't think is very, very good because the duration isn't long enough and it's not AOE, and so it's a bit too expensive for level 1. But great in terms of mid fights and great for your cores and stuff. But for supports, I don't think it's that good of an item. But still, at least they're trying to make use of it, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Chipper doing a good job, applying a lot of pressure to Kraken before he does get that babysit here in Torturer. So Embry going to make sure to give himself the best chance. But yeah, look at the aggressive tri lane being ran here by Reason Gaming. Speaking of that, Glacius Magnus up here to support the Corrupted Disciple. Mage Bane, he's coming up right here again. He has a blink, so he's feeling somewhat comfortable, but he needs to be careful. He will blink. Magnus, I don't even think he had intended to stun. He was just hoping that would happen, and it did. So good job, though, making sure Mage Bane was aware that they were there to make it difficult on him. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see some rotation, maybe even kind of farm the jungle a little bit as they're kind of doing here. Not using a creep wave, though, so not the easiest thing to do, and not really the most efficient either. Actually going to find himself running into Mage Bane in the meantime, and might get cut off by Torturer. No kill again, but could do some decent damage here. Nope, just a little back and forth, little tag basically coming out.
And
there.
honestly, I think with the lane setup of what Reason are doing now, they're shutting down the Mage Bane, but I think generally doing this would be good because obviously you want to reduce the rune cleaver timing of Mage Bane, but he does, like I said before, he doesn't go rune cleaver timing, so whenever he picks up the Elder Parasite, like it's kind of a better item build because obviously you want to build up rune cleaver if you're snowballing, if you're getting a lot of farm, but if you're not getting a lot of farm, then the Elder Parasite is almost a better item pickup, and that could honestly be a reason or a questionable thing that Reason don't know that Certus goes this Elder Parasite, and that could sort of backfire a little bit because if they're shutting down just to sort of reduce the Elder Parasite timing, I don't think it's as effective as trying to win mid and bottom. And
what on earth?
Gets taken over Courier.
Cthulhu fought all the way down here.
Oh, he's pretty dead.
The Rocket stopped his health potion though. Now he goes the other way. Of course, now this is interesting because Chipper's going to chase him quite a bit right here, and Chipper's going to waste a lot of time doing so.
Oh god. He's going to get away, I think. I don't know, actually.
Yeah, one more rocket. It's not going to be a kill, but a rocket auto attack should. No, he's okay. He stopped running.
I think he could have just ran.
Yeah.
I think he just kept him running.
If anything, just keep him chasing a little bit longer.
I think it was worth. I think it's kind of worth it. I think maybe. I don't know.
They did kill the courier as we saw.
Yeah.
So they're without
gave
that
Kraken
now.
a bit of time as well in the middle lane. So. They do give Bloodlust to Chipperdome, so
that's always not usually a good thing. And that excels his farm, as we see there on the GPM chart. Speaking of having a good time, Corrupted Disciple also, understandably so, having a great time. 21-18, holy crap. He is making sure to get, well, guess what, it's Imba Boy, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But, I do agree with you. Really, Blood Hunter seems to be kind of a flavor hero of Imba Boys that maybe not the most popular, but Corrupted kind of another one of those where I think Imba Boy, and this is definitely one that comes to
I don't know why. But I don't know, it just seems to hear it that... When I think of Immoble, I think of either Corrupted or Moon Queen. But.
Yeah. I think, well, in like Season 2 especially, Reason Gaming and Immoble himself, I believe they did actually run it quite a bit, to be fair, so that's probably ultimately why. But middle lane, Chipper might be fine, because no release to Kraken, so.
That's true.
Gonna get away right there. Top lane, Cthulhu Font. He's coming in. This could be something actually for a Hellborn team right here. Teltook going to lead the way. No trample just yet. He's waiting to line it up. Magnus says, screw it, I'm just going to stun.
That's really nice. I think he would. They're going to try and kill Magnus now, I think.
Magnus now, he can't steam back because, he has to juke the trample. He does not. Corrupt the Disciple does not. That is. He puts the conduit up, hoping to mitigate the damage. Nice. Never mind. He turns around for that kill. And here comes Rowley as well. And now Cthulhu trying to get out. He can now. Beautiful teamwork from Reason Gaming. You could tell that communication was on point. And they make it work right there.
Oh dear, put simply. And I was questioning whether this rotation was going to work or not, because, like, if you think about it, it's like Mage Bane, Cthulhu Torture, and a Trilane, and it's like, well, it's not going to be that very strong compared to like Corrupted, Glacius, and Magnus as a result. But I mean, just good rotation from Zane there again. I think he was having kind of a hard time bottom, so he tried to be involved elsewhere. Middle lane though, Kraken invis.
Yep, that is a Revenant invis, or no, that was just simply
Oh.
a Rune invis, but actually the compel comes out, the turnaround on a Kraken.
I think
Yeah.
Zane has some kind of sixth sense, man. He was sitting there for like 20 seconds, assuming the ganks were happening. And I mentioned a little bit before as well on other games, but although Zane isn't a support player, like he has this presence of mind, like expecting the ganks before they even happen. And as a result, not only does that save Shipper's life, he's there for the turnaround as well. So just insane plays coming up from Zane.
Yeah, I like how a Suicide Revenant right now is free farming currently, though, because of
Well,
what's
it
been
was-
going on with the movement.
I think Cthulhu and Torture was bottom for like a long while as well, though. It wasn't 1v1 for a long time. That's why Zane rotated, I think.
Yeah, no, but I mean, for the time being, even hell, still
Oh,
nobody's
yeah,
here.
yeah.
But Raleigh is going to finally be coming back. Of course, again, Raleigh was very active, so it's understandable. But yeah, I mean, Revenant was able to make a pretty good use out of it. Hell, he's a top farmer on the team because of that. This is a secondary support Revenant here at 275 gold per minute. So, well, according to actually Quincy, I mean, usually Zooey's even their main support, but I think it's safe to say the way this game's going, yeah, he's going to be running more of the secondary support here, and Torture will be that main support player. Top lane, Kraken is here. Has released Kraken, charged and corrupted. That should be an easy kill, perhaps. Nice stuff from Mavis. Once again, trying to save the day. Ain't going to happen, though. Mortification is applied, enhancing damage across the board. And Magnus also does get picked out. So this time it actually works out for Prime Icarus. And they get their first 2 kills of the game. So well played right there. Corrupted Disciple actually picks up the Energizer as he's sitting in death, however. But that was definitely much needed by Prime Icarus with the way this started, of course. So good for them. And hey, overall stats say this is actually a very, very even game currently. And I really think Revenant is a big part of that. You know, the fact that he was actually able to get some good farming. Revenant with some levels too. Again, Sync Esports likes to run more of the short lane Revenant. You know, Flensmeisher gets his hands on it, and the idea with that too, not only some decent farm, but great levels. And hell, he's going to be level 8 here soon, and that means as the original Smoke Ganks of Han at least. Is very, very prevalent, so pops a regen rune even. Gotta disconnect in the meantime.
I mean, the one thing that is going really, really well for a reason though is that like they're shutting down this mage bin, and although I said he's most likely not going to go for Rune Cleaver, it's still a fact that he's farming so little, and regardless if you go Rune Cleaver or not, Mage Bane needs farm to be impactful in the game. And like you compare it to Imberboy, and like yeah, obviously they've traded they've traded Mage Bane's farms for like your good farm on Kraken and Revenant. But if they don't have a lot of good ganks and they don't create a lot of space for Mage Bane, then and they don't really make the ganks happen on Corrupted Disciple, like Corrupted Disciple is just going to have such a better like a late game potential compared to Mage Bane, because he's just going to have always higher GPM and always higher farm for Mage Bane, and unless they can really get Mage Bane back into the game, I think PI might be in a little bit of trouble. Like in the mid game, they shouldn't be too bad, but once it gets into the late game, like the sort of bad farm on Mage Bane will definitely start to show.
Mage Bane, yeah, of course, Sertress, well, that's DC'd right now, but yeah, only 158 gold per minute, so this hype of an Elder Parasite and whatnot, it's, well, especially with the start that he's having, something tells me, well, I don't know if he's going to stick to his guns here and, could just go what he knows works best, or maybe transition
like,
with anything, but...
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem now, though, because he's got very, very little farm. And in that respect, you might be like, okay, Elder Parasite might make a little bit more sense, because obviously it's cheaper, better build-up, and getting a late Rune Cleaver is not really recommended. But at the same time, if he goes Elder Parasite, then he's not really going to have any kind of farming mechanism to get back into the game. The only way he can get back in the game is good team fights, and obviously the Elder Parasite is going to help with that, but that, again, that relies on his team, and obviously that relies on how well Reason are doing as well in terms of the team fight. So it's not reliable farm in terms of if he goes Elder Parasite, but it might be the way forward, though.
Reconnect right here, so we'll see once he gets back in as this game continues on here. Again, this is the final game of the night, guys. And what is the losers bracket round 2, a best out of 3, of course, game number 3 with Prime Icarus and Reason Gaming. Taking a look at the brackets again, haven't updated them fully, but Nullstone versus Rexstars, that one finished. Nullstone actually took that series 2-0 as we casted earlier, and the winner of this will play Nullstone as a result next weekend. Of course, up in the winners bracket, you got Willowkeeper versus Sync Esports. Should be a lot of fun as always. And that as well, of course, going to be next weekend. But I'll reiterate it more, but might as well once again, since we're in a pause here. Tomorrow we will have a special presentation here on Honcast, 2 p.m. Eastern, 2000 Central European Time. We're going to be going over a lot of the leaks, or we're going to be basically leaking and going over a couple of patch changes that are coming out in the upcoming patch, the big balance patch, very support heavy.
When is the balance patch? Is it like is it hitting next Wednesday, or is that classified?
The following one.
Oh,
so not this one, the following one. So, but after
next
cycle,
Wednesday.
Yeah, so basically it's going to be a pretty big patch, and we're not going to release everything. We're not going to leak everything by any means, but we're going to leak a fair amount, and so definitely suggest it's going to be myself and Waza, actually, the lead designer here for Heroes of Newer. So going to be doing it from the office and perhaps get some interaction with some other staff members for you guys. So anyways, top lane, Kraken, is he in a little bit of trouble? No, it doesn't look like it. Magnus and Corrupted falling back, actually. Not going to risk doing anything too crazy here. The time being, at least. In fact, Kraken goes bottom lane. And that's Valrod Torture is going to be exposed, though. Rally sees that. I don't know if Torture thought he could.
That's Rev. That's Rev, isn't it? It's Essence Shroud.
Well, yeah, no, Kraken's Torture's was actually a Veldrath.
Oh.
He actually got exposed
okay.
right away. So that's what I was saying. I don't know if he actually thought he had the Revenant one on him, or because he kind of just walked up and was easily seen, but he's trying to bait out Rally, but it's pretty evident that
I think it's pretty obvious.
Something's here. So Zane ain't gonna fall for that. He's too much of a heads-up player here.
He could easily kill Torture.
Yeah, by himself, yeah, definitely. That is a free kill. But Kraken's there, and as he sees now, so not going to risk it. Corrupted. Yeah, Mageman definitely extra effective. You probably even mentioned this earlier, but just to reiterate, extra effective against the likes of Corrupted Cycle with that conduit. You know, the fact that he can kite him and not have a channel as much as other heroes, perhaps. So it's a good reason, another good reason for that Mageman pickup. But it's about getting him farm is the big thing right now. Ooh, he runs into Magnus. Nope.
Man, 2-hit. Mageman is so annoying to like. If you like a hero like a secondary support Magnus this game, like he just lost like nearly half his mana from 2 auto attacks. It's so frustrating. And, can be a little bit annoying. But he's got Seaboots yet, so still like barely any farm. Ooh.
Rally. Yep. Well, they're talking about killing Torture. Apparently he finds him. All alone this time and actually gets the kill, so well played. Is that a seismic slam? It was. Not the longest going on top lane. Magnus going to stun in. Cthulhu. There's the conduit being applied. Freeze comes out from Glacius.
So
they're not going to hold the ground, though. Yeah, so tanky here with support coming in. He stuns Magnus. Pushing the creeps to make the stun happen. He pops the steam bath, hoping to get away, but mortification eventually ticks him down, actually. That's a level 4 mortification right there. And that showed. Yeah.
That's not easy to hit as well. So again, actually, it was looking decent for Reason, but PR are definitely getting back into this. But still, like I think that the biggest issue for me is this Magebane though. Like, and I still don't know what he should go with, whether he should Rune Cleaver or Elder Parasite, because he just needs farm. Like Magebane without farm is just completely useless. Even some carries like with low farm, at least they can offer something to the team, but. He's as hard carry as it gets, kind of thing, and without the farm, he's just so useless. His levels don't mean anything really for him. It's that farm.
Yep, needs to get that hard carry farm for the time being, and continues to struggle. So, Prime Icarus, that should be their #1 priority here. Making sure that does happen. Revenant, almost level 8, and of course, being Revenant, one of the few heroes in the game that gets the 4, 8, 12 ultimate level ups, not unlike others being the normal 11 to 16. Oh boy. Somehow I actually forgot that for a second. Kraken roaming to the bottom lane here. Rally is here though and farming away at hell. 2,000 gold saved up. Jeez, he's gonna go straight portal key here. That's probably what we're gonna see again. His mana pool's actually
he can get
pretty solid.
I think 130, 2x5, 125. Yeah, plus portal. Yeah, he can do it. The combo. And, like he's kind of like. He's playing suicide. Well, he's practically playing suicide. Yeah, he's going to go, and it's pretty worth it. The reason being because with this portal key, although like he won't have good sustain because obviously he doesn't have the steam boots. Like if he gets 1 kill with this portal key, it's going to boost his farm up so much that he's going to go steam boots the next minute after anyway. So it's definitely worth it. I think not a lot of people do it, but I think in theory, I think it's probably the way to go.
Yeah. Well, has it here and going to try to set up something with it right away. As you see at the top lane, Mage Bane, oh, okay, I was going to say, if he actually goes in there and tries to farm a little bit, he could have definitely fell victim. But for the time being, he's going to be fine. He will be spotted by this ward of sight over here. But if Ferali pushes up a little bit, he's going to, oh, he blinks right next to ward of sight, and now he's definitely seen, yep. So he's not going to be as sneaky as he's hoping for here. As Mage Bane has all the information necessary to realize what's going on. In fact, a TP back here, but they think they're being sneaky now. And all of a sudden, a ward of sight appears. Well, it's been there, but Recent Gaming knows what they're doing. So, back and forth game of ward of sights here. Yeah, it's a Mage Bane just like any really hard carry. You know, the likes of Mage Bane needs that high GPM, it's safe to say. As the stats, of course, back that up. So, Blood Chalice on Chipper, by the way. Not usually your go-to Blood Chalice hero, but
I think we saw it once done by Fuzzy Stuff, I think.
Okay.
And it makes sense, though. Just decent amount of the item's really good though. Now they've changed it a little bit where it gives like the plus 50% mana regeneration as well. I think it's a good item, honestly. And like a hero that relies so much on his rockets, like, and he can use rockets from so far away that like even if he's got like only 100 HP, he can just use Blood Chalice and then just get one more rocket off. Could be the difference. I think it's a decent build up. Crack's got the portal key now as well because he's farming the ancients. So now maybe there's potential to start making some plays happen with the portal key.
yeah.
Rally's already got his. Man, if they just blinked into this Angels right now, just randomly,
That's...
on it.
No, he's going to be fine.
Oh?
No. That would have been devastating. But yeah, no, he does survive. Revenant, he is coming over with that invis of his, but he's going to try to deny maybe. Can he actually get it? The last auto attack, it's going to be close. Yep, well played. That wasn't even him, actually. That was Torture. Torture comes in the last second and takes it, so. Good deny. Coming out from Prime Maker.
Okay.
Right there.
I mean, the strategy for PI is pretty simple. Just get farm on Mage Bane regardless how. Try and make a couple of plays maybe with the Portal Key Kraken and then go from there. But he has picked up the Beast Heart, so he's going to go out of Parasite then. So. Oh, bottom lane though.
Jump on to grab the Saber right there. He quickly turns around with the conduit throw as well as that team support, and Kraken's going to fall. Man, that, I don't know what that was, but Param Icarus was not ready as a team to go in right there, and Kraken thought they were, and that completely whiffed, so basically just giving them a free kill to a stance. I mean, obviously good play by Recent Gaming, but well, there's clearly some poor communication on their part, and this could be a free tower push now. I mean, with Kraken dead, and he didn't really use it to think, so he could buy back actually, but Mage Bane gets bursted, the seismic slam damage, too much. I was going to say, yeah, Kraken can't buy back, by the way, as I said, so yeah, this is going to be a free tower kill. Well, maybe. But
man, the rally combination plus, like, the rally combination is a lot of burst, but then you've got to add like 540 magic damage from the 3 of the rockets from Chipper as well, because they're always going to hit. Like, we talk about like how Thunderbringer is awesome in terms of like extra gank potential, because you can ulti and that extra bit of damage can be the difference between getting the gank or not. But like, although the rockets aren't global, they're like 3,000 range. It's just like so sick and so awesome. Like, really good pickup here, and even with the Beast Heart on Major, like I said before, it wasn't tanky enough, so he's going to go the Elder Parasite though, as I said at the start. So.
Well, I mean, it's not guaranteed to be.
Nah, he ain't going Helmblade Legion, I can assure you that.
Alright.
I thought it was going to be either Rune Cleaver or Elder Parasite, and this is Elder Parasite.
Could be an Icon.
Oh yeah.
Needs to be an Icon strats. Bottom lane, Invis Kraken, that's the Revenant Invis. Okay, don't miss the charge. Okay, he doesn't miss the charge, then the guarantee kill. I was going to say. We've seen a lot of missed charges this weekend, but Sloske is like, no, I know what I'm doing.
I got this.
Walks up and easily charges. So yeah, good job right there. Magnus had no clue, and that was the idea. Morale, speaking of no clue, oh man, talk about overkill, man. That was a little bit of overkill.
Yeah.
But.
I mean, I talked a little bit like the strategy of PI, but I think the strategy applies to Reason. I just think with Reason they can do it a little bit better. Like Rally and Chipper are such good in terms of making plays, but for PI they've got like Kraken, and that's about it. Like a Philippine can't make plays until he's got Portal Key, and even when he does have Portal Key, he's not going to be as useful as like a Chipper or a Rally. And yeah, they've got the Revenant Invis, but they haven't made a lot of use of it. Honestly, they haven't made a lot of early ganks or early roams with this invisible Revenant, and yeah, it just. I mean, he had great farm at the start, but he just hasn't done anything with it, honestly, and unfortunately, and like, I haven't seen any good Essence Shroud ganks either, but who knows, man. Because Reason, they're just going to get farm up on Imberboy while they make a lot of plays with Rally and Chipper, and as a result, they're making a lot more plays because they've got the better heroes to do it.
Corrupted, I mean, what do you think? Sitting on the glowstone, maybe transitioning into a shrunken, then perhaps a staff, or just get staff first?
What did he buy second? Did he buy the glowstone?
I think he bought the glowstone first.
Okay, I think if that's the case, I think he might be going shrunken.
Okay.
Because glowstone is a really good build up though, like particularly for carries. Like an extra 200 HP and 150 mana is just really nice. Like, he doesn't have any sort of mana regeneration. He's going to use a lot of electric tides, so it's pretty nice build up. So I think he's going to he bought that just as like a build up and then go like shrunken. Although he could be going straight staff as well. Who knows? I think he's going to go staff regardless. Oh, Kraken, you're so dead.
Probably. The rockets come out. We've seen that a couple times. Now Rally make a turn though. Magepan. Oh, he's like, I want to kill you. I want to kill you.
The mana battery.
He's not going to though. The mana battery barely saves Rally. 22. He's like, anything touches me, I'm dead. So he's just avoiding everything at that point. And he actually does live. That was ridiculous. Somehow, some way, able to get away. Good job by Zane right there. And you know, I think it is good to the point. I stress every now and then, especially more of late, that Zane's been one of these players that's been around the scene for a while and never really got the recognition as being up there with the top supports, you know, the likes of Limp and whatnot, and Mumian or Casey, all these names coming out, but he always has just been there. But this season especially, it really has shown more and more why he's deserving of being considered one of the better players, especially in that suicide role. So, anyways, point being, he does a great job of getting away right there. And
but no, this is the point I was trying to make. Like, all these plays are so much easier to sort of succeed and execute for a reason because they've just got this Rally chipper combination. Like, Ray would go in, like, compel in Seismic Land, and then, like, there's so much damage because of the extra burst potential from chipper. And, like, PO, they simply can't make those ganks happen as well because Kraken, unless he gets a perfect charge into ultimate, like, which isn't the easiest to hit as we've seen, is not going to do the same. It's not going to do the same damage because Revenant can't do the burst potential that Chipper has, and Cthulhu, yeah, he's got Portal Key now, but he's still not the same as Rally. Like, they're better team fight, yeah, but the peak potential is just so much more of reason, and as a result, Corruptor could play far more aggressive than Magebane because he's, you know, the map is getting opened up just by Rally and Chipper, put simply.
You see this on a Parasite?
Oh, again. Look, this has happened 3 different times.
That's awkward, man.
This has happened 3 different times, and like, Zane and Emperor have just literally wrecked this mid game so much because of just the heroes they've been doing, and PO, they have no way of really doing anything because they can't really team fight because Magebane is too weak at the moment. Yet at the same time, their heroes are made for team fight. So I think this goes a little bit back to sort of draft or strategy because you know there's a little bit of a draft issue when there's nothing you can do, put simply.
Yeah.
And in this case, all they can do is hope for Magebane to get a little bit of farm, and he's trying to do it, but I mean, Zane and Emperor are just doing so well in terms of locking him down that Imberboy can just be happy and just sort of farm wherever he wants to do, pretty much. Like, he's not getting touched at all. Like, sometimes you see carry players, they play a little bit more defensive, but when you've got like great playmakers on your team, like, a great defense is a great offense, kind of thing. No, right. A great offense is a great defense, sorry. That's what I'm trying to say.
That way, yeah.
Yeah.
That's that sports term they use. Yeah, so.
I don't play sports breaking. So.
Of course not. Yeah, I mean, again, that was kind of extra awkward just because he was obviously using the incentive, or not the other parasite to help him farm, but it does amp his damage taken, and when he happened to still have it active when they jumped him right there, so it's just like he just dropped so quick, so. Yeah, it's tough times right now for Prime Icarus. Now, again, the overall stats suggest this is still a somewhat even game as Torture. Oh. Okay, so illusions actually do make them come out as well. That's interesting to know. But in the meantime, Magnus, he gets caught, but the charge from Kraken was just a little slow. But Torture finds it now. The tower falls. They really want to kill this Magnus. The Mana Rift was even used. They guarantee that kill, but here comes Rally. Seismic Sam, no, he's going to be traveled, no. The Rocket Barrage completely whiffed right there, and Rally made a falling. He does. Well, at least Kraken comes out. Kraken does fall, though, because the ball goes down, and make it a 2-for-2 exchange in the end. So, really, I mean, that could have been much worse, I guess.
That could have been terribly, but, like, first, there's 2 things that went wrong. Capel and Seismic Land didn't hit. I mean, it's not Capel hit, but Seismic Land was not able to get off. And secondly, the rockets all missed, so they didn't have the burst potential on the Kraken. But yeah, Mana Rift used, like, just to secure, like, a person with, like, 100 HP, but still, I think that was not too bad for PR. I think it could have been a lot worse, as you said, Breaky.
Yeah. Man, TP is priceless. He's actually done this a couple times now. He's using that Glacial Downpour just to simply up and farm a little bit and push out the lane. So any way to get your gold, I guess. That or he's misclicking his R with that new ward slot.
I don't know.
The default bind being Alt-R is kind of silly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy. But
You can
anyways,
change it though, right?
yeah, you could definitely change it, but you know the default, and a lot of people usually don't. So
Being too lazy. Yeah.
exactly. But anyways, no, I doubt he's misclicking it. The point is that just happens to be using it here. But yeah, Staff of the Master Aimbo Boy now on top of that at 2,300 more gold saved up. So Staff's great for him. Now he's going to start getting more damage focus, I'm sure. Something like the Geometer's Bane. Very powerful item on him. So yeah, the Mage Bane strategy, just getting him far. Like I was going to say earlier though, I mean, before that, this was before that fight, so it's kind of grown a little bit here for a reason now, but still stuff out of control. It's only 3,600 gold lead as well as a 1,300 experience lead.
Yeah.
Here for a reason, so.
I guess that's true, but like I think the most important thing is like the thing that's going to make a difference is it's going to be Corrupted versus Mage Bane. And at this moment in time, Corrupted is just wrecking like Mage Bane in terms of farm. Like he's already picked up the staff, he's gone Firebrand, he didn't go the Shrunken Head, just went straight into Staff of the Master. And in team fights, it does do a lot of work. Like Corrupted Disciple is a whole item ahead of Mage Bane, and this is where it gets a little bit dangerous in team fights. Like he's got a whole Staff of the Master on top of Mage Bane, and Corrupted Disciple was more of a team fighter than Mage Bane in the early to mid game sort of stages anyway. So, although man, PR looking a little bit rough, and there's not much they can do because of, like I said, the draft was a little bit weak to be honest. But.
Well, gotta make do again. This being Game 3, the final game of the series, and really your tournament lives here, as far as HTS3 Season 3 Cycle 6 is concerned. Rally being invis with that fouled rod again. It's really noting about this, the Ward of Revelation, it does not expose. He cannot be seen despite standing next to it and having that Veld Rod on. He is not actually seen, so. But he comes out eventually, and what's done is done there. Bottom lane, tower is going to fall in favor of Prime Icarus. So they're getting a little bit of push.
They need to trade because they can't team fight nowhere near. Like, I think Mage Bane needs a Shrunken Head as well, but he's going Geo's Bane, which is like a great item obviously on Mage Bane, but.
Yeah. Well, back to the top tower, and Corrupted Disciple has that magic absorption on the focus buffer. Again, 500 magic damage that absorbs. So, I mean, really, you basically have to give him 500 more life in a sense, as far as what that does. Because a lot of the magic damage to be coming out eventually will be absorbed by that, or whoever it may be on. So, very, very powerful tool once again. You see Mage Bane, though, again, making use of the Auto Parasite. It really does enhance that farm, and he's moving up. He still has a ways to go, 315 gold per minute, but
like this is the problem. This is what I mentioned in the start of the game as well. Oh no, Kraken just porkins are creeps. But this is what I mentioned before. Like if he had Rune Cleaver, he'd be about 400 GPM at the moment. Though, like you don't farm nearly as fast, obviously, if you picked up the Rune Cleaver compared to Elder Parasite. And yeah, but at the same time, like going out Rune Cleaver this late as well is kind of questionable. But it might have been the way forward though, because like I said, it's going to really rest all on Mage Bane because Torturer and Revenant are kind of non-factors at the moment, and Cthulhu's only really useful in team fights, as is Kraken really. And I mean, I mentioned before like this Revenant isn't doing too much, but I would like to see them at least try and use the strategy. It feels like they're not utilising it at all. I don't know how you feel, but like I haven't seen one real use of the sort of the invis from Revenant really.
No. I 100% agree. I mean, they tried to really remember at the bottom lane with the Kraken, but other than that,
like you compare that to sort of Sync. Like when Sync, they did it like every single time it was up, kind of thing. Like every time they could utilize it, they'd do it all the time, and it's the way to be played, honestly. Yeah. Otherwise, picking up Revenant, there's no point. Like if you're only using Revenant in the team fights, then why not pick up like a Behemoth kind of thing, like who's more useful in team fights? You pick up the Revenant as like a niche in terms of like ganking and stuff, and but they're not utilising it. And talking to Revenant.
Yeah, they're going to jump right here. Big initiation coming up on the leader side. Down goes Glacius right off the bat. We see Mage Bane blinking away. Not much more can do. Release Kraken coming out, but Kraken eventually picked up by those chainsaws. Cthulhu and Mage Bane. Cthulhu more specifically. He does get caught by the Magma Stun. He could not juke it. And he eventually falls due to the crowd control. And, okay. He dropped his portal key. He was hoping to drop and pick it back up for the for that little trick right there. But he is unsuccessful. And so Portal Q would just sit on the ground. Of course, can't be seen by the enemies, so not the biggest deal. But yeah, anyways, point being 3-for-0 exchange. Mage Bane had to get out of there pretty quickly. And now here comes the tower push. So great jump by Reason Gaming. And going to get more out of this now. So, I mean, it really does feel like Reason has just been dominating this game. But, I mean, the stats still continue to be very not like a runaway. It almost feels that way, but at the same time, again, it's not.
Yeah,
really, so.
But like I think the stats are a little bit deceiving, honestly, in this game. Like I said, because I think it's going to come down to Corrupted versus Mage Bane, and I've seen it once, said it again, and Corrupted is just wrecking. And even in the team fights, like they're doing okay, I guess, in terms of Kraken and Cthulhu. Oh, actually, Mace. Bomber rocket.
Okay. Gonna be fine. Good attempt.
No portal kill, Magnus. Oh, he's got it now, though, actually. That was close, actually. He could have been in trouble, actually. If that courier came to him like 5 seconds earlier, he might have been in trouble, but I don't think it'd be. I still think the stats are a little bit deceiving, honestly, because, like, not to be sort of morbid, but I don't see reason losing this game from now on. Unless they make some massive misplays, I don't see them losing.
Oh, no, yeah. It's definitely a part of that, but hey,
who knows, though?
It happens. Misplays happen, to say the least, even at this top tier play, so.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say it. Like, I think PR have played good. I think there's just an issue maybe with the strategy, honestly. And obviously, well played coming from Reason. They knew exactly what to shut down. They shut down the Mage Bane, and as a result, that's why they're so far ahead at the moment.
Yeah. Basically. Bottom lane, Magnus, or excuse me, no, that's definitely not Magnus. Kraken down here, leading the way. They are Prime Icarus, that is, 0-5 down, and actually, here comes Reason, Zane with that Veiled Rot of his, Veiled Rot. On top of the ward, but again, can't be seen, obviously. And so, hopefully, team getting a little comfortable. That's a fake Kraken. That's a fake Kraken. Don't go on it. They're going to go on it. Okay, don't use too much. Yeah, realizing pretty quickly that indeed it was a fake. So, this is a fun part. It's like, now send in another one and try to act like, okay, this one, no, I promise it's real. No, it's not.
I think that sort of ended up a little bit better for PI there. I think that could have ended up horribly there if he wasn't careful.
Yeah. Yeah, that could have been one of those, oh, the game's actually over kind of fights. So, they fall back and make sure that's not the case. Mage Bane, hey, 1,000 gold. He's got a Frostburn here. On top of the Auto Parasite and Steam Boots. He's working his way towards getting whatever item he may go for here. I think Geometer's Bane probably makes sense, especially for the Conduit, but...
I think, like, I don't know, maybe, sometimes I do see it with kind of newly established teams where, like, instead of knowing what to do, they kind of just sort of sit back and farm because it's better than, like, doing something and doing it wrong kind of thing. So it's kind of like, I think there's a little bit of maybe a lack of leadership or a lack of indecision because for the last 15 minutes, they've just been farming and, you know, if a team fight happens, then they'll go to it kind of thing. And this, to me, is a little bit of indecision, like, not a lot of... There's not like a strong leader saying like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and then we'll do that kind of thing. There's not. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of that in this game, particularly for PI.
Yeah.
And for Reason, like, although they're doing a very, very similar thing, at least they're being successful in their ganks, and also like they're happy sitting back and farming. Obviously not to this point where it should be like mega late game, but even if it goes like 40 or 50, I think they're still in a decent position because Mage Bane is just so underfarmed kind of thing, and they're going to try and set up some funky things here now in the middle lane.
Yeah, they're really trying to be a little sneaky here, trying to maybe get a jump, but it's not going to happen. And still they'll go for Congor. They can be happy with that. There's the Shrunken Head pickup on Corrupted Disciple.
The timing.
Yeah, perfect timing indeed. I mean, oh, pause.
Yeah, like, my screen's shaking.
I know, I hate when that happens. It's like, and here's the seizure screen. Take it off of that here.
But yeah, this is where it's decent though, because obviously Corrupted has still room to grow, but you don't obviously want to go mega late game against Mage Bane because that's when it's starting to get scary for them. They can pick up Congor here without any real resistance and then start pushing into Rex really. And I mean, yeah, PO obviously will have their buybacks, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel they're strong enough yet, unless Mage Bane's like 400, 500, 600 GPM, which obviously he's not. So.
Helping, trust me, guys. I'm helping you guys out by showing the coming up screen.
I'll tap in as well.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, can't watch this. Stupid Congor shaking my screen. Man, I cannot wait until this next patch.
I really can't. Like all these new patches, it's like playing Team M with them is always cool. But I'd love to still be in the team, like just play a little of like even if I was ringing. So. Any of you like diamond teams and need a ringer for scrims, let me know, yeah? if you left me, that is. If I'm not too noob.
Yeah, you can watch this stream and check it out. That's like a tryout there. See what he's
but I have to admit though, like, because I'm quite a competitive person. Like, so I used to play for like my football sort of city, or for my town city football club anyway. And it's like, there's just another level of like enjoyment when you play competitive on those. It's just like when everything clicks and like playing as a team, playing as 5-man, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's what got me to the competitive scene in general in the first place. And, started back with back in my day. Good old Team Fortress Classic.
CS.
Counter-Strike.
CS 1.6.
Yeah, the classic Counter-Strike, so.
I wish I ever played that. I was too young for that though.
Yes.
My older brothers loved to play that though back in the day, but it wasn't my time.
Yeah.
Before my time.
Good times. But anyways, great times here as well. And Congor is going to fall with ease. There's the token of life on Corrupt Disciple. And they're going to fall back from here. Not going to push the issue again. The golden experience has actually even gone down a little bit since then. You know, doing a Congor probably understandable, but Mage Man going to fall back before any jump happens onto him. He's got 2,400 plus gold saved up here.
Yeah, I think for a reason they're going to push out all lanes and then stop making their way to high ground because they don't want to give any opportunity to Mage Man to split farm mode. So if they push out all lanes, then it's going to take Mage Man like an extra minute or two to push out lanes. So
yeah.
Push out lanes and go high ground. They've got token on Corrupted and they've got Shrunken on him as well. And, that's a safe play to make. And what PR are going to do? I mean, the only sort of way I maybe see them PR sort of holding this is if they get some godly Kraken charge back to the tier 3s or tier 4s and then go from there. But they've still got to drop Corrupted twice, and I don't know, with Shrunken as well, I just don't see it happening, Breaky. But who knows? Hey. Anything could happen.
And the big mana rift from Mage Man. I was actually kind of looking at that. As far as targets go, I mean, really Chipper's the only one, really realistic one. Corrupted, drain all that mana. Actually, 1,000 could actually be pretty
well,
relevant.
I think it depends on who he's hitting though, because no one's going to have 0% mana from the start of the team fight. Like that's the one issue with Mage Man is like the ultimate's good, but you have to make sure you get a couple of auto attacks in before because you're never going to be able to like drop like a 100% mana rift like if they've got like 0% mana because they're just not going to have that at the start of the team fight. But at the same time, you don't want to use it too late. Oh my god, Revenant.
Catch Revenant. They're diving pretty far, though. Torture Stun comes out. Mavin's going to follow that. Here comes the trample from Cthulhu, trying to save the day. Obliterate on top of that. The chainsaws, though, tear him a new one, and he gets taken out. Release Kraken. It's going to hold to rally in place.
Oh my god.
As well as Corrupted Disciple. Is that a mana rift?
Yeah.
That was a mana rift.
Corrupted.
Holy crap. Yeah, Corrupted Disciple, as we're just talking about that, ends up helping to take him out, so he loses the token. But he's going to hold his ground for now. I mean, he has a shrunken head right here. There's a freeze on him. Mage Man action. Conduit's going to be applied. Not enough damage, though, coming out. Needs that conduit charge to add up, of course. So, or no, that wasn't even conduit. But anyways, they're going to push, probably fall back, I'm sure. Well, maybe not, actually. There's still 4 of them up. Yeah, 3 are dead. Is any buybacks? No. Nope. No, Cthulhu could. If he really wanted to. But Revenant's going to be up here as well as Torture pretty shortly. So let's see if they're just going to wait this out. But yeah, no mana rift from Magebane.
No token as well. Like, Kraken is so... Ooh,
Glacius. So he's going to be fine. Yeah, Magebane's not going to commit. Or will he? He actually might go back in. No.
Without that token... Ooh, no, yeah. But without that token as well, like, Kraken just seems so much more scary, though. Because, like, charging him back... Oh, Magebane...
I mean, yeah, he knows that he's probably not going to die. Yeah, I like this decision. They did not have enough to kill him, so he's going to look at the Brutalizer proc. It goes off, gets the kill, and he blinks away. Very, very aggressive play by Sertus, but hey, you need those, especially at this point. So
yeah, you need to play aggressive, and it's the right play to make. And I mean, you're right though, Breaky. The mana rift is doing a lot more damage than I expected. Honestly, I think I've underestimated. Oh, they go back in though.
Big eruption coming out. All of a sudden, the Legion team here in Recent Gaming making a statement that they're in the lead. They're going to continue to be in the lead. They take out Kraken. Magebane, of course, able to get away. That's the big, big save right there. And Revenant also will, so everybody else gets away. So actually, what was a pretty big eruption only ended up being the one kill on a Kraken there.
And Kraken's got a buyback as well, so this could actually end up probably even might be a blessing in disguise, honestly, if Free's not careful.
Yeah. Reason's going to kind of commit to this. In fact, Corrupt Disciple just purchased a Geometer's Bane. It's being delivered currently, so he doesn't actually have it on him, of course. But that also does mean he wouldn't have a buyback. If it calls for it, of course, pushing in, that's not as big of a deal, but still. They're gonna poke on the door there and see what they can make happen, but good defense put up by Prime Icarus, making a statement that they're going to be here and actually defend it, so Reason Gaming will instead go elsewhere. Yeah, like to
Kraken is just such a good hero to defend high ground, though, because obviously like, he's got a great ult, superior ultimate, but also it's the charge. Honestly, it's like a pseudo hook, and like anything that is reduce or like sacrifices the enemy's positioning is just such a good item, or such a good sort of skill. But they did the fullback here though. This could work pretty decently if they're not careful.
Fallback, yeah. Trying to see if they can get anybody caught off guard, but no. Prime Icarus is sticking together as a team, as they probably should. The Warner site will spot all of them over here. Congor, of course, not up for the time being. Corrupt Disciple had the token, but died pretty shortly with it, shortly after even. Due to that big mana rift. Veiled Rot. I'm just going to keep
Oh, this
I'm
is...
just going to call it Rot, man.
Rot. But then you sound like Devourer.
I know. See, technically it's called Decay in Han, though.
That's true.
But I always still just call it Rot, because it's easier. Port coming in. Torturer. Gonna start things off here.
Good play from Reason, forcing them back. Well, they didn't know where PO were, so it's a lot better to sort of make the reliable play and force them back to base. But man, that's the item I was thinking of, by the way. The Brutalizer, that's what he goes. He goes Elder Power as a Brutalizer on Mage Bane, and it does a lot of work, as we've seen. But he does have a DD as well, actually. So yeah, I mean, I think I was a little bit underestimating the power and the hold of the team fight for PI, but still, there is a Strong Head and Geos and Staff of the Master, Corrupted Disciple now. So, but outside of him though, there's not a lot of late game potential, but neither is PI. So, Reason's still looking decent though.
Yeah, 37 minutes in again. It seems like Reason just has kind of, been in that comfortable lead, but not really able to push it to, all right, this game is over kind of lead either. So, PI's, to their credit, been doing a good job of preventing that. I mean, Mage Bane has not, and that's crazy to see too. Mage Bane's farm is again 385 is a good farm to have, but it's that, but it hasn't really been anything over the top either. And that potential is still there. That's true,
I guess, but like whenever we see Mage Bane, the reason why he does snowball that hard is because he's got the Rune Cleaver. Like Rune Cleaver plus Flash is just so ridiculous. Oh my god, Magnus.
He's in a lot of trouble. He pops a Void Talisman, maybe Mana Rift. I was gonna say, yeah, not the most damage though in the end. And Magnus actually will escape. So I thought that would have done a little more, but nope.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Needs to pop. I don't know who he popped on before. I don't know if it was the Chipper perhaps, but he killed Corrupted from full HP. It was pretty ridiculous. It might have even been on the Corrupted as well, I guess, but did a lot of damage regardless.
Glacius.
Ooh, haste on Corrupted.
There is a haster in there. Dust's going to be used, but actually Portal Key out before he gets caught. So who got the haste? Rally? Oh no, Chipper gets the haste here.
One thing I'm kind of sort of surprised by this. Why don't they do the Lion Skank? With Smoke now as well, it's so much better. You can just do the Lion Skank 24/7 practically.
Seems like
it's
made for them. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Of course.
Like all 5 in the long lane and push out the wave and creep into the jungle and go from there.
Yeah.
It just seems so strong. Like in that situation there, PI, if you get 5 people in one sort of spot, PI were farming 1 camp each from 1 person, and if you can get 1 pick off just from bursting someone down, PI can't rotate over and take a team fight because they're completely out of position. So, I know. People are using smoke, but from what I can see, I don't think they utilize it to its full extent, kind of thing. So I honestly think there's points in it where it's so broken, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, again, and that's completely understandable. The item literally just became
new,
eligible, and I'm surprised the fact that we're even seeing it. Honestly, like I was talking about the podcast, I was not expecting to even see it at all in this cycle, at least. But teams were very active with it yesterday, and it has kind of backed off a little bit today, although still using it definitely. But yeah, as time goes on, in the coming cycles.
We haven't casted Sync though. I don't know how much they. But I'd assume we have casted them a little bit.
We casted the last game of their series. Yeah, they used it a couple times, I believe. What I recall. So
I'd assume so.
Yeah. Make use of that. Mage Bane blinking aggressively into the jungle. Gonna continue to farm, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it has no cooldown, and that's why I think you should just use it almost 24/7. Obviously, it's gonna reduce your farm, but if you're getting Kira kills with it, then it doesn't even matter if you're not farming, kind of thing. But.
Well, it has a cooldown. Valdrai?
What?
Yeah, it does. I believe so.
You can buy as many times as you want.
Well, no, you can buy it. Yeah, no, but when you use it, it activates a cooldown. So you're talking about actually being able to buy it?
Well, I guess the cooldown is 75 seconds.
But yeah.
But the uptime is 30. So you got 30 seconds cooldown, but that's really low though. Still.
I mean, that's 45-second cooldown. To be fair.
Okay.
So first off, it's more than 0. So just
okay, but still,
okay,
maybe I'm over-exaggerating a little bit, but still, 45 seconds isn't that long. You do one smoke game. You do one smoke game, okay, you kill someone, okay, and then you reset, and then the guy comes back alive, and then you do it again. Because the cooldown is a death time is 40 seconds or 45 seconds, so you can do it.
All right. Middle lane, corrupted. Look at this. He's going to pop the illusions and energize here and then go, go, go. So those are illusions right there. Dropping the tower. You're going to be forced to pop in vulnerability. He needs to come to the side, but he actually even has a dancing blade now, so wing bow just around the corner, and that's a very powerful item on a corrupted, you know. Helps him not only take advantage of those, really take advantage of those conduit charges. That's what I was getting at, so.
Congor's up.
How about this, too? We saw Magnus with the Void Talisman earlier. Actually, Chipper also gets one of his own, so yeah, they're making that a priority against this Mage Main here.
I don't think Mage Main's doing that much damage, really. Like, if you think about it, Mage Man doesn't do a lot. I mean, like, yeah, he's got 176 per auto attack, but like the main thing is like there's the mana combustion and the mana rift, and like the Void Talismans are going to be the things that's going to be reckoning. Like, it's not like they're going against like a War Beast or like a Swift Blade kind of thing. Then I'd maybe agree with it, but I don't know. I'm not like outside of Mage Man. There's no real physical presence. Maybe Kraken, but even that is not too much kind of thing. Oh man, they have not dewarded this Congor. This is really risky.
Yeah. I mean, they got a Bow Die too. Like, okay, the cooldown's going up in 10 seconds, so hasn't used it just yet, but
they've all smoked up.
I think they're gonna wait for that Bow Die cooldown. Probably look to use it when it's 2 more seconds. Go back in, check it out. There you go. So, yeah, they're definitely aware of that.
Now they feel safe.
And now they're a little safer, yeah. But see, that's one of those things. That obviously, they were seeing killing it. So, but now PI, of course, is in the dark, and it's like, well, are they doing it? They might think they are, but you see reason not really.
Oh, look at this courier.
What's that? Oh yeah, scouting it out.
They can. That is so frustrating, by the way. Like, it's like a mobile ward, and I don't see enough teams use it, but I think it's like really. Look at this courier. It's courier wars.
That's that's the Ursicor courier, isn't it? Yeah, flying around. Trying to get that information. Yeah, see, no Congor just yet. Is that
like,
their actual courier? It is.
Yeah, like, you can't do anything about it, though. Like, I think I mentioned it before on cast, but, like, in the late game, I think everyone should just buy, like, 4 different couriers and just have mobile wards, because they have invulnerability. Like, I really think there's a potential to be broken in there, because, like, what, you invulner it and then you speed burst it. Look at this, Like, there's nothing they can do. If they all jump...
Oh, sorry, but...
Even if they... Even if they see it, like, they can't kill it, because it would just go invulnerable.
Yeah. I mean, they know it's there. There we go. There's the invulnerability. Checking it out.
It's just so strong, but I don't see enough teams use it. But hashtag the little things. Oh,
it's a jump. Rally coming in. The side next side. Kraken. He's tanking, but not tanking out clearly. Corrupted Samadon chasing down the Revenant. Revenant is going to get caught. He eventually gets bursted down. The Eruption assisting to do so. So 2 for nothing exchange, and now they're feeling very comfortable doing a Congor kill. Going to guarantee it right here. So that's the portal key initiation kicking in. Once again. 4 reason gaming here. Geometer's Bane is picked up by Mage Bane, by the way. He has that with the Ice Brand, so. But Congor goes down. There's a token of life on Corrupted Disciple. And he's getting close to having enough for that wing bow here.
Kraken doesn't have a buyback, though. Neither does Revenant, actually. This will be Rax, actually.
Oh, yeah, they're already exposed, yeah, most likely. I think they might have invulnerability, but it's going to take some good damage right here. You see Mage Bane trying to bait things out with the illusion.
Mage Bane still only has 350 GPM. It's just like... It's just... It's not enough. Oh,
okay. 12-14. I mean, I see right there.
But that's all he does, though. Like, he doesn't offer anything outside of that because he doesn't have enough farm. And I mean, I talked about the Elder Parasite. I think it was probably maybe the right arm to go. But like, without the Rune Cleaver, you're not going to be hitting like 600 GPM. And if you're not hitting 600 GPM, then Reason are going to eventually take this, unfortunately, because Cthulhu, like, what it is like PI, they have good lockdown with like Kraken and Cthulhu and Torturer, but they don't have the damage because Mage Bane isn't farmed enough, and they picked up the Revenant, but they haven't utilised the Essence Shroud ganks, and it's just like, I don't know. I mean, the draft is okay, but they're not executing it correctly, and if they're not happy executing it, then it should be a different draft, in my opinion. But here comes, like, they're using smoke ganks instead of Essence Shroud. To me, it's just illogical.
It's like why, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just ranting
well,
too
the
much,
only advantage here is that you can't be seen by Rev wards, but still.
Yeah, but like. But even before, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being too negative, but...
Yeah, they're using the new item, damn it. I like it. They're trying to. Yeah, it's not going to really happen, though.
It's the right play to make, though, because, like... It's, if they do find, like, Magnus or Rally, for example, they most likely delay the push for, like, a minute and stop the token, so it's a good play to make right there, but obviously just didn't didn't bear any fruits, unfortunately.
Oh, they get a tower kill. The middle tower kill right there, as we see. So that's first tower kill, but still.
They need to get back. Like.
But yeah, there's no chance for them to go further.
If they were bottom, I think they should trade because they're not going to be able to take a team fight. But they were pushing mid, so they have to defend. They're not going to push fast enough compared to Reason.
This could be one of these final pushes definitely coming up. Reason Gaming really trying to go cutthroat here. You got Corrupt Disciple, 240 remaining on the token. Nothing really the Homework team can do. You see Mageman right there, and I've noted that too, was he blinks very short distance, but that's just simply to apply the buff to himself. As, of course, his teammates, that I'm talking about the magic armor buff. As you mentioned earlier, 12 armor to himself, 5 to his teammates, so might see him do that every now and then. Flash is, what, a 5-second cooldown? No, 6-second cooldown, so could warrant using that. This Nui kind of going up there on Revenant. Checking it out, trying to look for initiation. Mageman in the background, he goes on a Glacius. There's that Void Talisman, though. Mageman being locked down, no Shuriken or anything. He doesn't have Jumper's Pain either, and down he goes. He popped the Mana Rift. He takes out Glacius with it, but not the exchange you're looking for. Mageman does buy back. Corrupt the Disciple, helping to finish off through the part right there, but Mageman got back up, but he doesn't have the Mana Rift now. Unlike before, wow, that burst was real. Kraken, he just melts right there. Seismic Slam assisting, doing a lot of that. And I think the GG's could be coming out. There you go. GG, well played. Game 3, excuse me, going to Reason end the series as a result.
Unfortunately, that game was over by the 20-minute mark, to be honest. I sort of mentioned it. I mean, they had a slight chance, but did not occur in the end. And at the end of the day, Reason just had a bit of a better draft, executed their draft better, and as a result, took the game.
Yeah, Reason Gaming definitely deserving, once again, they make it to a top 4 here. This is a Reason Gaming team that, you know, disappointingly got knocked down a couple cycles ago. They fought their way through gold, though, as we mentioned previously.